What's the word, y'all? Yes, I know we have been MIA and I'm damn near retired from making video and audio content, but I cannot let this mega weekend go without putting in my picks on wax, man. Yeah, I need to know what I think. I wanted to tell you guys how I felt about this Mega Palooza card. Big salute to TBL and TMM also partnered up with these guys too. Salute to Chilla Jones, Kenny, and everybody out there on the staff because we have a historic, epic, overstimulating but entertaining weekend, jam packed of action. And LTBR, even though life has been lifing for a lot of us, we got you covered, man. All weekend, live updates, highlights. Might do a Twitter space to talk to the village folks. You know what I mean? And we got an in depth recap article. But for this video, I'm going to try to do my 20 predictions in 20 ish minutes. So 20 predictions in 20 ish minutes. Let's get it. So starting off day one, Capo Bravado versus Snake Eyes. Listen, despite what you may think, I rock with Snake Eyes, and if you see this Snake Eyes, I don't dislike you. All right, I appreciate his commitments and consistent effort to his brand, his promotion, the level of his craft. And I heard there's money on the floor for this battle, and I hope that's true because there will be true bragging rights for this. The promotion from both these guys have elevated this card because Snake Eyes is real rah rah with his promotion, while Capo's real internet trolly based. I'm gonna really get under your skin and pester you, and depending who you ask and what part of the United States map, who's the better rapper, you're gonna get a different answer. But one thing I know, I think I could trust Snake Eyes' experience a little bit more than Capo's in this situation. And plus, I really like Snake Eyes in that Rum Nitty battle. So give me Snake Eyes 2-1. Casey J versus J Love. Have you guys been watching female battle rap? Have you guys been watching We Go Hard? Two niche circuits in an already niche bubble. If you have, you would know the last 18 months J Love's been putting on. J Love has been very much shown a lot of improvements in her delivery, her presence, the way her pace. I think the quality of her bars are heavier too. So hopefully she can shine when the lights are the brightest and can deliver 3 clean rounds, and you guys will see what she's made of. This is one of those rare instances where you just have to kind of show you belong, and then we have expectations of you and we want to see you win. But hopefully she can take full advantage and capitalize off this moment. And for KCJ, like, what is there to say, man? This is a woman that's consistently top 5 whenever she's ranked in WOTY. Perennial top tier female battle rapper who has countless wins over top tier men, countless wins over women, top women as well. And when she's in the gatekeeper role and she's giving somebody a shot, she's equally dangerous. And she's at home. Everything indicates for me to pick Casey J 2-1, but I want to see J Love shine in this battle. All right, Loso versus J2. J2's been putting together a couple of good wins. Beat Jack Boy, beat Jerry West to start the year. And I will say he's kind of sneaky in these matches. Like, you can never sleep on him. But I've heard Loso in his interview in his promo talking about J2, and he says I'm better than him in every attribute. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I think Loso is the better writer, the better performer, the better angler. Uh, has hit higher highs. Like, I don't know exactly what checkbox do I give to J2 that he's better than in Loso, but I will say this. Obviously, J2's coming for revenge against the Horseman. He's looking for it because obviously you see what happened to him and Ward. Don't know if he gets it against Loso, but Loso definitely has a issue with stumbling and being consistent. If you've noticed, he's battled a lot. He battles almost every other couple weeks. And when that happens, battlers sometimes their quality of material is sacrificed, so sometimes they're just not as clean. And Loso has a lot of issues with stumbling. This is a guy that's a top 20 perennial battle rappers, made Cody list multiple times. And when he was at that level, haven't seen him battle at that level in a while, but when he's that guy, he shows separation in these matches. So I'm looking for him to tap into that and show separation here. We got Pass versus Eunice. Old school, new school, need to learn though. Listen, man. Um, Eunice just made a top 20 list last year, back-to-back years with Battle of the Year contenders. And more importantly, I think his ceiling is just limitless. We don't know what the best version of Eunice looks like yet. He's still in a trajectory where he's getting better as he touches the stages. And Pass, veteran, can never sleep on what Paz brings to the table. And they don't necessarily rap similar, but they both rap so well that it's going to complement each other. But I think the separator is going to be the content where, like, you could expect Paz to kind of like throw Eunice in the post, showing that grown man strength and kind of little boy him and talk to him. But I think Eunice has the capabilities of just bringing more battle rap attacks. Like he can angle punch. I think he's more capable of having the moment or the biggest haymaker in a battle. So like I kind of trust what Eunice could do more from a point of attack standpoint. But love this battle. Chef Trez versus Luke Castro. Hey y'all, have y'all been paying attention? Luke Castro is looking like 2021 Luke Castro. He's been putting on a couple of good performances. He's been consistent lately, and I think that is a very great measure for him because it's like, yo, he's you can't sleep on what he's bringing. He's actually putting in a lot of effort in these performances. The only problem is he's standing in front of somebody that was top 5 in the world back to back years. This is a first team All NBA battle rapper right here, man. Chef Trez, his work ethic is unmatched. His consistency is unmatched. And he's consistently bringing great quality material and production every time he touches the stage. Do not take Chef Trez for granted. It's no shade to Luke Castro. He's just standing in front of one of the best in the world actively right now. So give me Chef Trez 2-1. Mike P versus Charlie Clips. I seen Mike P say in an interview on PSA Reloaded that he wants to have this be his final year battling. And if that's the case, brother, I get it. When you take a break from battle rap, you disconnect from social media and you feel peace, I get it. All right. I think we all feel that when we unplug from the matrix. So if that's really the case for Mike P, I hope that he pours his passion every time he touches the stage. Can we get a performance better than that Shuni battle? That Shuni battle was no bueno. I wasn't a fan, so I'm looking to see he brings us a quality performance. Last time he was on TBL battle, Real Deal. Really good battle. One of the better back and forths of the weekend. And for Clips, I think the price of admissions is the gamble with Clips. Like you don't know what you're going to get when you see him. And by the way, I've seen some of these Clips interviews. I seen him talking about overs and unders, and I could freestyle, and it's better than people's prepared material. And I hit the points and rebounds, but I missed on the assists. Like this is all FanDuel angle. I need you to sign off of FanDuel, okay? I know what's going on. And plus, he's battled 3 times in the last month. So it's never a good recipe when you see Clips battling this frequently. In one round, he can look like the old version of Clips, and he's about to be serious. In the same battle, it could be a complete 180. He's laughing, it's awkward, and he's freestyling. So give me Mike P 2-1, but Clips still my GOAT. We got Miss Hustle versus Real Deal. And Real Deal, another person, sneaky year, 2025, starting off with JC, battling Miss Hustle, and then New Jersey Twerk the following week. And I heard him in an interview say that he prepares for all his battles where it's like he wants to be entertained by himself if he was in the crowd watching him. I think that's a unique stance because it lets me know that his preparation for Hustle and his approach is going to be pretty much the same game plan that you normally get from Real Deal. However, I think there's going to be some creativity because this is his first time battling a woman, and Miss Hustle coming off a dynamic first round and performance from Hitman Holla, but battling back-to-back weeks from Miss Hustle is a rare commodity. Last time she did it last year was against Chess and Shank Prezi, and she choked in one of those battles. So it's just I don't know if I can trust her to give me 6 rounds in the span of 7 days. I'm definitely going to go with Real Deal on that front because I think I can trust him under those circumstances more. Geechee Gotti versus 40 Bars. This battle has a high ceiling and a very low floor because I think they both have a very good track record in intergender battles with the exception of 40 Bars' 2024. Let's close our eyes for that. Before that year, she had a very good track record against the men. But right now, 40 Bars just has an issue of just being clean for 3-4 rounds. Hopefully, she's fully locked in and prepared. I see she did a lot of promotion for this battle and for TBL as a whole. And even at the top of the year, she had a great battle with Danny Myers, but her third round she still choked in that third round. So she didn't beat the allegations. And for Geechee Gotti, last time he was on TBL against Marv One, he headlined the card, but it was an unserious battle. So Geechee Gotti can kind of get in the Charlie Clips bag where he's chuckling and freestyling too, but hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully we get a good version of both of them, and it'll obviously spark a very big debate amongst both fan bases. But I'm definitely going with Geechee Gotti because even if I get the worst version of him, I know he could be clean for 3 rounds. Marv One versus Arsenal. Listen, these two legends have been putting on. You've been watching this promotion. On Monday, TBL did a Twitter space, and Marv One, I have not heard him be this excited for a battle in such a long time. He premiered a diss track for Arsenal, and the very next day, Arsenal respond. The next day after that, Marv One respond. The next day after that, Arsenal respond. That's hip-hop right there. And that's two legends in our game that still haven't crossed paths and finally get a chance to meet and add each other to their resume. I think I'm going to pick Marv One because I think his content will last the distance, but I like the energy they both bring into this battle. All right. New Jersey Twerk versus A Ward. So much to say about this battle. First and foremost, I hope this battle goes down in its totality, because they both are very active this month. Torque off a very great performance against Vixen, still didn't have a third round in the battle or choked in the third round, but he battles every week. But that's no excuse for him, because Ward is on this exact same cards he's battling on. After this event, they're battling on Pittsburgh, and then they're battling Ohio the following 2 weeks. Crazy. But so much to talk about with this battle, so much dialogue between the Goonie Four Horsemen rivalry, between them almost battling in 2020 on URL before Torque's car accident, A-War being behind Loso for the Torque battle in 2021, both of them being extremely vocal about their careers and the decisions they've made. Both of them consistently ranking on Cody, and Torque always ranking one spot above War, which is very funny when you look at it. And both of them kind of in the prime of their careers. Also, there's that big Christian topic available for both of them to talk about. This is a battle with dialogue, but the recurring theme I'm seeing is that A-Ward at 100% doesn't beat Torque's 100%. My retort to that is, I feel like I'm closer to seeing A-Ward be at 100% than I am to Torque at 100%. So, you know who I'm rolling with. I know I've been gone for a while, but I've been gone that long. You know what's going on. You know who I'm picking. All right. Hollow Don versus Jazz the Rapper. Clap it up for this one. Brooklyn versus Queens. Okay. Idols become rivals. Jazz has been wanting to battle Hollow for a couple years, and at this point, she's got a Mount Rushmore resume of men that she's battled, and so something very interesting. Some of her promotion going into this battle, where she said she wants to have performance of the night or performance of the weekend, and having that on this card is a major accolade and major accomplishment when you look at all the talent on this weekend. But she's got the same aura and energy as she did going into the Gaddis battle and the Tay Rock battle. So that makes me feel kind of confident that she is very capable of like achieving that. Like, it makes me feel like she can have performance of the night. And Hollow Don, 8 battles in 2 years. I think with him, everything is just matchup based. Everything is stylistically matchup based with him. Because when he's battling guys like Twerk, Av, JC, I kind of find it where like those guys are more pen heavy, better lyricists, better superior punchers. I think he struggles with those guys. When he's battling guys like Ill Will and A-Ward, it's more versatile and allows him to accentuate his like Swiss Army skill set. He has fun, and you kind of feel like you get a vintage version of Hollow. And Jazz being the strategist like he is, I think maybe he can tap into that bag. But I kind of hear Hollow sleeping on Jazz a little bit, like, oh, like these men don't take Jazz serious. And when people say that narrative, like, I'm just like, y'all not watching these battles. Tay Rock, Nitty, and Twerk tried to take this woman's block off. Literally, big K is Cody because he beat Jazz. So I don't know. I don't ever like hearing that, because I think Jazz has been in dogfights with these men, and I kind of like the form that Jazz is in as a whole right now. So I'm picking Jazz 2-1. Ooh, hold on, man. I'm cooking, man. We're going on to day 2. Let's take the vest off. Yeah, Apollo weekend is here. All right, day 2, man. Hansel versus Ace Amin. Ace Amin's 2023 was definitely one of his best years, and I haven't really seen him tap back into that form in a little while. After he lost to Marv One and Shotgun Suge, it's just kind of been a lot of turbulence. And this is somebody that has a lot of stock in the real estate of Ace Amin. I believe in his talents, but I just kind of want to see him do it again. I want to see him get back into form. So I'm picking Hansel because I think he's real motivated this year. He set himself a goal, like, I want to be a top 20 battler this year. And you got to salute Hansel for saying that, because a lot of guys they shy away from wanting to obtain these accolades, and some embrace it. And he's embracing it. And even if you don't have the profile to get the marquee matchups to actually contend for Cody, doesn't mean you can't put together a consistently good year. You know what I mean? And I think he's doing so with some judge wins, a good battle with Real Deal recently, a one-rounder with him. I like the form and rhythm that he's in. So give me Hansel 2-1 for that. Clone versus Elijah Straight. This battle, it's been interesting because their promotion makes it sound like they have a lot to discuss in their battle. And these are two guys coming off a great 2024. Clone was probably a top 20 snub, and Elijah Straight was one of our LTBR most improved battlers. So that's dope. But they actually were on TBL's last card together on Mass 6, and striking results there where Clone had a dominant performance against Def the Kid, and Elijah Straight had a great battle with Danny Myers, arguably won, debatable battle. And at that point, it's like, what do you weigh more? Somebody that's dominant in a battle where he's battling somebody that's not really competitive versus going toe to toe with a premier top tier. Like, I don't know. This is where strength of schedule in the LTBR writers room always goes back and forth. But as a whole, I can say I kind of like some of Elijah's performances more lately. I like what I'm getting from him. I think I'm always going to get a quotable from him that like I could stick with. I had made more enemies than Stan Lee type shit. Like so, and I actually heard Clone ask Elijah in their last space off, like, "Hey, do you think your battle with Foots is better than my battle with Trez and Av?" Yes and yes. Give me Elijah 2-1. Sheed versus Excel. They're saying this is pen versus performance, but she got a pen too. All right. And because of that, I'm picking Sheed. He's just able to accentuate more attributes. He checks off more boxes for me. They might be able to, counteract each other in the writing department, but I still think Sheed's a better writer too. Like his battle with Jada Nightwing, one of the best battles this year. I haven't seen anything from Excel in the last couple of years that I've liked more than that. Excel is a very great rebuttaler, so he's dangerous at rebuttaling. But outside of that, I'm taking Sheed over performance, energy, being able to captivate the room, crowd control, delivery. I'm taking everything with Sheed when it comes to Excel. So Sheed 2-1. Danny Myers versus Quest McCody. This is another battle where somebody's completely more tested with their resume and catalog. Like Danny has everything much more than Quest in battle rap because obviously he's been more active than him. But have you watched this promotion? Have you seen their face off, their space off, their diss tracks, the banter on Twitter? Quest kind of has his number. Every time they talk, and again, this is verbal joust, like Quest like has the one up on him. He pokes holes in his like logic, defies what he's thinking, and it makes you like scratch your head and you're like, yo, Danny, why did you say that? Like, and so it makes you realize that Quest might have a very unique approach for him, and I think having something refreshing for Danny Myers is half the battle because he has 200 plus battles. So when you got that, it's just hard to just say new things to somebody, and I think Quest has found it. Plus, these guys have been battling for 20 plus years. They kind of come from a similar cloth, so I'm looking forward to this one. JC versus Maflex. This is your favorite writers battle right here. This is Pen Patrol alert. Ring the alarm. Not much to say more than just Maflex is well proven with his track record in these type of matches and these type of pen heavy battles. He's a great writer himself. He can go toe to toe with any of the great writers in battle rap. You could point to his battle with Jay the Nightwing, classic, and JC is heralded as one of the best pens in our game. So this is a battle that's going to deserve more than one watch. I'll probably edge JC, but I cannot wait to see the level of writing that's on display from both these gentlemen. Official versus Chirac. It's a tough battle for me to pick. I don't really have a decider for this one, only because normally I would have went with Official. Better puncher. She more consistent, veteran as a whole. But right now she's battling with like a heavy heart, and condolences to her recent loss. So I don't know if it's fueling her passion or if it's taken away from her preparation. I don't know where she's at mentally. Not in a bad way. I just don't know what to expect from her. And Chirac, I love the 2023 immaculate talent, but 2024 just was riddled with inconsistencies. And even this year so far has been hot and cold, where like she started the year against Clips and wasn't clean, and then had a battle against Shooting the Rapper, and she was great all 3 rounds. I don't know what Chirac I'm going to get, so I really don't know what to expect from this battle. Can I get one undecided? Can I get one skip, please? One pass? Thank you. Um, Jada Nightwing versus Ill Will. Hey, man, this battle is a banger. Absolute banger. Great matchmaking. Round of applause to whoever put this one together in the matchmaking room. Jada Nightwing's put together a string of quality performances between the Maflex battle, the Geechee battle, the Real Deal battle, the the Sheed battle. All quality performances, and hopefully the Will battle gets to get added to that collection. I know a lot of us are really down on Ill Will right now because of like his easy battle. You might have him choking and losing the bill. You might have him losing to Sharon. Obviously, that loss to Pain at the end of 2023. No, these aren't things to make you smile as an Ill Will fan. But I want to push back a little bit because I still think he was really good in the Bill battle. I thought he was really good in the Sharon battle too, despite whatever result you may have. And I think we're a little bit more down on him, not realizing he's still an elite talent. His skill set is just so versatile. He's somebody that I'm always going to bank on because of how much he can bring to the table. And plus, I think he hears the chatter and he knows this is a legendary card. Like, so he wants to probably want to put on his best foot forward. I'm going with Ill Will 2-1, but ultimately I'm rooting for a good battle in this one. Chilla Jones versus Averb. Upset alert. Upset alert. Listen, this was my hot take. Um, if you've been following Verb as an individual over YouTube, Bigo, Twitter Space, or wherever, seeing all the stuff he's gotten into, it makes you want to be like, man, this used to be my goat. You know, it's not something you can really stand by. But taking all that aside and just evaluating him on the stage, I still like some of his material and his rap in some of these battles. I liked him in the Ill Will battle. I loved him in the A War battle. I have him losing the Swamp, and I have him losing every round. But I liked him in the Swamp battle, even though he brought too many rounds for that, and didn't go over. And this is a situation where TBL is saying there's very hard time limits. So I know Verb is not going to give me a syllable more than what he was contractually obliged to. However, he still raps well, and I think the low expectations for Verb right now is going to open up the possibilities of us being like, "Wow, I forgot how good Verb rapped." And plus, he's outside this year. He's battling Chilla Jones, JC next month. I think he's still battling Av. I don't know. I gotta ask the boss if that's going now. Gotta find out. And Chilla Jones has the ammunition to destroy Averb right now. I could be completely wrong about this pick, but he's running this mega event. And I know right now he's probably curating somebody to handle stuff for him, but this is so much stress when you're running this that I just don't know if people can properly balance it yet. Some have shown to do so, but I just think it's something very unsustainable and difficult to do. Upset alert. Give me Averb 2-1. Ilmac versus Real Sick. I'm almost speechless on this battle because it's something Sick has said he's wanted since like 2020. And I know this might be cheap analysis, but like they both were on Blackout 8 a few years ago. And that version of both of them that weekend is the version I want them to both bring to each other on the stage. Like I want the Ilmac to battle Nitty and the Sick to battle Ward to stand in front of each other. And we're gonna get a high level battle. It's that simple. Give me Real Sick though 2-1 because I think he's more consistent with reaching that level than what I've seen from Ilmac over last year against like Geechee Gotti and Sharon, where I have him losing both those battles. And then the main event, Daylight versus Rum Nitty. Woo! This is a high five-figure battle, y'all. Yes, it is. One of Rum Nitty's final matches available to him because he's got a couple still really big name battles left. This is one of the few. And hopefully this completes like this triangle trilogy of like Rum and Lux, Daylight Rum, and Daylight Loaded Lux so that we could get this like elite trilogy collection package of like high level lyricism, breaking the space time continuum. Um, Rum Nitty is guaranteed. You can punch it in, no pun intended, to have one explosive round where you hear some of the best punchlines, some of the best bars, some of the most creative name flips or approaches that you've ever heard. And I think people just get in front of Nitty just as a masochist, just to hear how great he can flip their career. But Daylight's a cheat code, man. I'm taking away his King Bao battle and his King Los battle. I'm looking more at the Tay Rock battle. I think he wants to replicate that again. He wants to get in that bag. And when he's in that bag, sometimes he's saying some very eloquent, dope shit, and sometimes he's packaging it with a bunch of nothing. And somehow he intertwines both, and you can't tell the difference. But he's going, and when he's doing that, it's a game breaker that like nobody can stop. And so the biggest thing for me about this battle, though, is I heard both of them say, mostly Nitty, where it's like, hey, this doesn't do anything for us individually. This battle is about uplifting the culture. Like I want us to elevate the culture with this battle. So I'm looking for another battle of the year contender. And I think Daylight says he wants everything in time to just freeze. Like he wants this battle to be so monumental and special that the culture just has a moment where we just appreciate this for days and days on out. And very high expectations that I think both of these gentlemen are very capable of reaching. Give me Daylight 2-1 because he's the cheat code. And that's my predictions, my 20 predictions in 20-ish minutes, minus the intro. Let's Talk BattleRap.com's got you covered all weekend. Apollo weekend, we're here. You know where to find us. LTBR signing out.